how to get started as a freelancer. I started 3 years ago and I've since made $70,000 on Upwork alone, and I get more money from other connections, leads on LinkedIn and all sorts, and I want to help you to do the same. Danny here has asked how to get started, so I'm going to show how I got started, also how I got my dad started on a freelancing website, and also a couple of friends who have made an extra $200 between them in their first month of freelancing. That's awesome, and you can definitely do the same. So I would say there's like two routes to get into freelancing. So the first route would be to decide what you're good at and what you want to sell as a service. So what you're good at might be determined by your job now that you can take from being a full-time employee and take that skill freelancing, and that can pretty much be anything. So whatever you're doing now in your 9 to 5, you can kind of own it and become a freelancer. Kind of linked into that is to look at like what you're good at in terms of like maybe your hobbies or things that you love. So for example, when I started, I was on a big bike trip around the world. So what made sense for me was to niche into writing about bikes. And that actually was enough to get me some work, like something that niche. So I started with, I think I was doing like product descriptions for some bikes, and also like round up articles comparing different types of bikes and who they would be good for, that kind of thing. So that kind of work existed. Equally, a friend of mine who's an expert in mental health and writing for like research grants in the medical field. It's a bit over my head, to be honest. She's even found work that I think is like another level of niche on Upwork, and she's managing to secure some pretty high paid jobs doing that, starting at $75 per hour, which is amazing and way more than what I ever secured. If you're listening to me here thinking, well, I don't know what my hobbies are, or I don't really know where to start, and by the way, when I'm talking about hobbies, it could be anything, like, maybe you're really into music, or maybe it's like skateboarding, baking, whatever it is, skincare, whatever, you'll find someone who wants a writer, because everyone needs SEO and content these days. So that can be a start. The second way is to go on to something like Fiverr and go, because I think Fiverr lends itself the best to do the research, is to search for services that people are selling. So if you're like a photo editor, for example, or you're good on Photoshop, put those keywords in and see what type of things other people are selling and if they're selling that particular gig. So if they've got like 5-star reviews and they've got, 1,000 reviews, they're obviously selling really well. And you could put all sorts of keywords in there, photo editing, design, writing, blog writing, legal papers. If you're that sort of person, you've got those skills. People even have like, I'll be your friend type gigs, or I will be your coach, I'll be your therapist, I will help you manage your finances. There's all sorts on there. So just go and see what's available and that you could do.